And we're back to the last matches. We've come back for Poppy. And we're going to try and get the other ending. At the very least, we're going to see the alternate outcomes to these. The choices we were given in these memories of hers. And we'll see if that leads Poppy to a better ending. I'm hoping it does, because God, the ending last time was sad. So we have 4 choices here. For starters, let's hold out a little hope, shall we? Rudy promises to come back for us. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Even though today's your day to be happy, I'm crying and needing you to cheer me up again. Rudy's expression softened and he relaxed, still holding Poppy's hands in his. It's all right. It makes me the happiest knowing I can make you happy too. I'll be waiting then. But in the end, he never did come back. Perhaps this isn't going to change much immediately, but we'll see. I believe we kept up the theme of the selfless choices and offered Father to bed. This time we're in this for ourselves, because we deserve some good things. Thank you so much. You've done so much for me. Don't mention it. I'm the one who went missing all these years. You deserve everything I have to give. Toby felt her chest tighten at those words. Thank you, Father. With the situation settled, Poppy's father helped move her belongings into the apartment, which weren't much. Poppy didn't own much, just a couple sets of undergarments, 2 dresses that allowed her to swap clothes between. We're caught up here. We saw this last time. I believe last time we picked God. Was he asking forgiveness from? The optimistic answer is he's asking forgiveness from us. That didn't really change anything, did it? Maybe this is the important choice. Asking forgiveness from us. Of course, it wasn't the last time he hit her. Instead of playing the selfless one here, and essentially putting distance between us for his sake, disappointment in Rudy's voice made Poppy pause and reconsider everything she had just said. It wasn't his fault the crowd reacted the way they did, but she took it out on him. I haven't changed that much. Her eyes drifted down to their shoes, the words clumsy in her mouth as her face heated up. I'm sorry for saying all of that. Realistically, she's right. She hasn't changed that much. Realistically, it's Rudy. Even if Rudy hasn't honestly changed all that much. It's just enough to put this societal gap between them, unfortunately. I don't blame him for walking away now. I'm sorry, too. Poppy snapped her head up in surprise. What? What for? For making you feel bad? For springing up on you all of a sudden? For never coming back to find you? You don't have to apologize for any of that. Then you don't have to apologize for earlier either. That's not the same. How's it any different? You both upset each other. Oh, I did worse things, didn't I? No, that's not it. That's not how it is at all. Oh, it's so frustrating. It's not the same. He didn't do a single thing wrong. Why can't I get him to see that? He's laughing. You're right. You haven't changed that much at all. Let me make it up to you. Please. I thought you said we don't have anything to apologize for to each other. Oh, so you agree then? But like I said, I have a lot more to apologize for. To tell you the truth, Poppy, even though it's been years, I haven't stopped thinking about you. You were impossible to forget even when I tried. Me through those days at the orphanage. No one else would talk with me, you know? I didn't know. What a terrible job just to be away from the place for a bit longer. When you started talking with me back then, it made me really happy. I wish so often that things didn't end the way it did. Don't say that. You got adopted into a happy family. It would be horrible of me to say that I'd still prefer to have been with you. So you'd be lying, and it'd be one more thing for you to apologize for. Don't laugh, I'm scolding you. Sorry. You're never going to stop apologizing to me at this rate. Well, that's enough about me. What have you been... Huh? Uh-oh. Both of them jumped as a sharp, reedy drone bellowed from an accordion from across the square, causing all heads to turn toward the corner adjacent to them. Neither of them had noticed, but chairs were set upon a small platform in that corner. A group of men had arrived with instruments in hand. We get a more prolonged celebration this time. Oh! They tested a few notes and quickly burst into an energetic waltz, making the whole crowd burst into laughter and smiles. As Poppy began to clap along, a few kids ran out to dance in front of the stage. Adults soon followed, young men asking their partners out to dance as the crowd made room for them. Wouldn't it be nice to... The rejection she received less than an hour ago was still fresh in her mind. She wrung her hands in front of her, doing her best to keep her smile up for everyone around her. No need to be a spoil sport. Do you like the music? Mm-hmm. Oh. What do you think of dancing? Oh, they look like they're having a lot of fun. Poppy, I'm asking if you'd like to dance with me. Huh? What? Would you like to dance with me? She heard him ask, but she couldn't quite register the question. Poppy? Poppy hesitantly looked down at herself, dressed in rags and dull and tattered clothing. Her eyes drifted back to Rudy, neat and pristine, perfectly fitting for this evening. She'd say no. Remember how they all looked at him when they saw him talking with me? Still, her eyes shifted to the dancing couples, the music that flowed through the square. Rudy with his handsome face, warm, tan skin, and beautiful eyes. She wanted this. She definitely did. But still... Yes. Words slipped out, soft and barely audible from lips parted in a tiny smile. Which is quite the contrast to Rudy, who beamed as soon as he heard the word. Great, let's go. Whoa! Oh! He took her hand and pulled her into the crowd, unable to contain his excitement. In comparison, all Poppy could do was stutter and stumble as she followed behind him, unable to bring herself to look away from the floor. were trying to get rid of me less than an hour ago. Is it really okay to come running back in? Nervous, she stuck a glance at Rudy and found him laughing and smiling back at her. Oh. What was that? What was that? My heart just beat out of order. She averted her gaze just as Rudy came to a sudden stop, causing Poppy to crash into him. Oh, I'm sorry. Not at all. I'm sorry for moving so fast. This is as good a place as any, don't you think? Oh. Turning to face Poppy directly, Rudy took both her hands in his. Poppy blinked, not quite knowing what to do with her hands. In the corner of her eye, she saw couples raising their hands together and laughing as they danced. Looking back at how her hands connected with Rudy, she felt her face flush and quickly looked away, taking her hands out of his. But Rudy held fast. I have to hold both your hands to dance. Do you? Well, he entwined his right hand with her left. It depends on the type of dance, but everyone's waltzing to the music. He shifted her right hand to his shoulder and pulled her close with his other hand on her waist. Oh! Poppy jolted, causing her to lean into Rudy, as he chuckled softly into her ear. Her heart thumped wildly in her chest. He doesn't feel my heart beating that hard. Slowly, step by step, Rudy moved, leading Poppy through the crowd. Despite her reluctance to hold hands earlier, it was all she could do to cling on to him, doing her best to hide her bright red face from him by staring at their feet. Poppy, you know when you're dancing you can't look at the ground. Oh, but I don't want to step on your feet. It's okay if you do. Huh? Poppy was so surprised by the response, she actually looked up at Rudy and found the breath taken out of her. Rudy had grown to be handsome. Poppy thought that immediately upon seeing him, but had been in the corner of the square in the darkening evening. He really is handsome. Oh! In the center of the square, warm candlelight reflecting off his hair and eyes, music floating around them as they stepped in beat with the tune. He absolutely glowed. Poppy averted her eyes again, but found she couldn't keep her eyes away from Rudy. I loved the way his eyes changed color in the light. Even though it was in her own head, Poppy felt embarrassed for the cliched thought. It's more fun to look up when you're dancing than worry about your feet. So keep your eyes on me, okay? Poppy, still wide-eyed, nodded absent-mindedly. Okay. She couldn't help feeling that everything about this moment was too perfect. Perhaps it is, but damn it, you deserve it. Here, dancing under the pine needles, illuminated by hundreds of candles wavering in the frosty air, the atmosphere brightened by song. Did she really belong here? Was she allowed to be here? Thoughts still whispered to her back in the back of her mind, but step by step, little by little, were twirling amongst the crowd, listening to their laughter. She could believe it, too. Music made her light on her feet, and Rudy beside her made her feel safe. Before she realized it, Poppy found herself smiling and laughing along with everyone else as she held onto Rudy's arms and let him sway and step to the music with her. There you go, and now you have it. She didn't have the first idea about dancing. Maybe Rudy did. She couldn't completely tell, but he sure acted like he did. It was strangely sweet, bright, and warm. It made her heart soar. She hadn't felt this earnestly happy in... She couldn't remember. It didn't matter. Under the sparkling ornaments, and barely in tune with the festive music, all that mattered was that she felt happy in this moment. The candles shined brightly on each branch above her, unwavering and burning onwards, continuing the magic for her evening. Even as the music died down, everyone continued to laugh, and Poppy continued to dance with Rudy. Hey, Poppy, would you mind meeting up again? Uh-huh. I'd like to spend time with you again, if you don't mind. Would you want to see me again? Any time would do. We could meet up again here. We can go dancing or do anything you like. I would. Oh? I would love that. I would have. Oh, but that didn't happen. Didn't ask me. Then this happened. That day all I did was sit alone as the band played. I just wished. I just wished. Surrounded by everyone's happiness, she just wished and wished to be like them. Happy with family, happy with a lover, dancing, accepted by everyone else and allowed to have fun. But it didn't happen. Hmm. Fizz. Said it's all out. And why? Why did I need someone to come find me? Say that jealous of everyone around me? Why couldn't I just be happy? Why did I need to be anything like them? Why couldn't I be like them? Is that all she wanted? That's all. Her dream was just for someone to come back to find her, to just magic it all away with a sweep of a wand. Was she always this weak? This is where things start to change. Rekindled. Unknown. Home. Puppy opens her eyes to an old but familiar scene. The stove with the bubbling stew, the fireplace with the bright flames. Warm laughter coming from the couch by the fire. Is that Rudy and Grandma? A table full of plain but beloved food laid out in front of her. Every bit of it made Poppy smile. And this tall gentleman. Hello, mister? When did he get here? A tall and pale man sat across from her. There's a flicker of annoyance across his face as he drums his fingers on the table. Did he not hear me? He's looking at me, though. Mister? What was that? Whoa, it looked as though it shook. She waits a moment, but it doesn't happen again. Attention back at the stranger, she finds him still looking at her intensely, and she can't help but avert her gaze. Her eyes landing on the food. Are you hungry? The sight of the food makes her stomach growl, but she hurries to serve the stranger first, cutting chicken. Much more bland than what she saw at the matches, for him. It's great as the food tasted that first night under her father's care. She remembers now. All that rich food actually made her sick to her stomach when she went to sleep. No, not yet. Poppy! Poppy jumps, head twirling around to find the source of the voice. That's strange. I thought I heard Rudy's voice from over there, but he's... Did he not notice that? Well, anyways, if you're not hungry, then you can eat later. Just leave it here for now. Yes, I think I will. Huh? Poppy holds still as the stranger suddenly reaches over, fingers trailing to the side of her hair and to the beginning of her braids. His hand recedes, and to her surprise, she sees a familiar object in his hand. A matchstick. He holds the stick towards her. When she reaches out to take it, it bursts into a tiny flame. Take good care of it now. Match, now flickering with fire, but not burning, floated above her palms. But mister... Oh. 1 a.m. downtown. Rekindle... Poppy? Huh? Oh. Poppy lets out a breath. He's blurry, but is that Rudy's face she's seeing? Wake up! Please, wake up, Poppy! Please don't leave me too late again. Rudy? Figure holding her slowly comes into focus. Poppy! Poppy, oh thank God! Poppy feels him shake her as she holds her. and he looks away. She can still see the tears forming in the corner of his eyes. He's crying. He's crying for her. She's worth crying for. Rudy, your ears are turning blue. What are you doing out here in the cold? Rudy whips his head back towards her so quickly Poppy would have jumped out of his arms in surprise if she wasn't feeling so heavy. I should be the one asking you that. What the hell were you doing sleeping in the snow? Huh? Oh, well, it was comfy. You. Oh, get it. Scolding can wait. I need to bring you somewhere warm. Rudy shakes as much snow as he can off of Poppy as he stands, carrying her in his arms with ease. You're so light. Don't comment on my weight. Rudy lets out a laugh as he starts to walk. Though his laugh was genuine, the sadness in it doesn't escape Poppy's notice. Rudy, what are you doing here so late at night? I could ask you the same. I was selling matches. You work in sales, you have no excuse. Poppy, did you really forget? I'll forgive you just this once. I said I wanted to see you again. You said you wanted to, too. And we'll meet in a week. If not then we'll meet on Christmas Eve. And you were certain you'd be here. Did I really say that? You didn't show up at the first time. A week into December. Oh. The bankers came by with some tough-looking men, so I dragged Father into hiding. Ah. First week of December. If this actually happened. That's how this all started. I'm so sorry. Like I said, I'll forgive you just this once. Even though you said you'd be here. I thought you'd be at the town square, so that's why I waited. Did you wait all night for me? Of course. Why? What do you mean, why? I wanted to see you, so of course I waited. Looked everywhere for you, too. Why? You should have gone home. It was snowing so hard. Why would you wait for me? Brother wouldn't even been here. But you were, weren't you? Would have searched all night for you if I needed to. I just found you. I can't lose you again. When are you going to understand, Poppy? I would wait all night. Walk kilometers through a snowstorm for you. Because you're worth every second, every hardship I have to face. Anyone who doesn't realize that is a fool. This is nothing if I can save you. I can sit next to you again. Poppy remained silent as Rudy explained while he trudged through the snow, carrying her. She realized. It's true. He's telling the truth. For some reason, that made a deep pain in her chest. Huh? She couldn't stop the tears from flowing, just like before. Oh, you dummy. You cried enough? Now you're crying in front of Rudy. Poppy? Poppy, what's wrong? Don't worry, we'll get to my place soon and I'll start a fire. I'm sorry. She sobs and heaves, trying to stop her tears with her hands. It was just like before. Somehow it was so much warmer. Rudy cared. Someone cared without her asking. That person exists. Rudy exists. Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't mention it. By the way, how far is a kilometer? Let's pretend it's from one end of the island to the other. You'd walk the whole country for me? Yes. Oh, don't lie. I'm not lying. At least take a coach. Next few days happened in a blur. Oh, this is... At first, Poppy drifted in and out of consciousness as her body started to recover. She wasn't sure who came to see her or what the doctor said, but Rudy sat by her side the whole time. She knew because she could feel his hand in hers, because she kept seeing him in both reality and in her dreams. Laughing alongside her as they ate stew and sat by the fire, gently patting her hand as he sat next to her bed. Eventually, Poppy woke, finally lucid, to an empty but warm room. It was a larger room than Poppy had ever seen for a single bed, and far more luxuriously decorated than any room she's walked into before. Shelves filled with books with glittery spines, a beautiful music box above a warm fireplace. And these sheets. Poppy had never felt anything so soft before. But why is she alone? Couldn't have been all been a dream. Because otherwise she wouldn't wake here. But... Rudy? She called out, and there was no response. She grew worried. The room in the atmosphere is perfect, but there's a Rudy shape cut out of it. Without him, it just isn't complete. Rudy? He calls again. There's no answer. She pulls the covers off and gets out of bed. Thud. Or at least she tries to. Her legs collapse under her, and she looks down to see benches covering the entirety of her feet. And reaching halfway up her knee, one leg while they wrap past her on the knee on the other. I really messed myself up. Poppy? Heavy footsteps resound from outside the door before it bursts open, a frantic and tired-looking Rudy stumbling through. Poppy, what happened? I didn't know where you went. Oh, sorry. I fell asleep cutting the vegetables. Here, let me help you up. Gently, he bent down and put her arm around his shoulders to help her up. Does it hurt? I'll help you back to bed. It's too soon for you to get out. I don't want to keep sitting in bed. Despite that, Rudy walks her back to the bed and lets her sit down. But the moment her feet weren't pressing against the ground, she felt better. But it's painfully obvious this isn't going to heal overnight. You won't. I promise you'll get better. I have to go. Go? Go where? Rudy, can I really stay here? As long as you need to. And I would hope you'd want to stay longer than that, too. Do you remember what I said? I meant it. I want to be with you. I'd hope you'd want to, too. Please don't leave me again, Poppy. Poppy lost count of the number of times Rudy left her speechless since she saw him again. He keeps acting like she's the treasure, but in her mind she's pretty sure that he's the shining gem she can't believe appeared in her life. Of course, I promise. I'll stay with you forever. She meant it. Everything that happened felt too good to be true. Poppy thought that all she'd had were the cold nights curled on the floor taking her father's rage. Freezing up the streets praying for someone to come and save her. She never thought the universe would answer her. Given the choice, why would she ever return to the life she had before? Was there ever a reason to suffer alone in the cold like she did? She didn't feel like she had a choice. Take good care of it now. Poppy smiled. Yeah, I'll stay with you forever. With Rudy, Poppy knows even the smallest fire will keep her warm. Oh! End day unlocked. We did it. We gave her a happy ending. Felt like we had to twist the universe a bit to make it happen. But you know what? It was worth it. She deserves it. God damn it, Poppy deserves that ending. A chance to just escape from that cruel cycle she was stuck in, going nowhere. Struggling on the street, just 99%. What do we miss? Struggling on the street. Just trying to bring enough home to appease her father when he just completely gave up. Gave up trying to get himself out of a hole and just completely turned on his daughter. And only drug her down further into an endless cycle of despair that only ended with her death. Her death just praying for happiness. I suppose the mystery in here, relating to the original fairy tale, is the identity of the tall man with the butterflies. Feels like, from what we've seen of him, he's sort of an angel of death figure. I was also thinking that he's kind of like a psychopomp sort of being, accompanying departed souls into the next world. But feels like he has a bit more influence than that. In that, say his responsibility is taking souls that are dying into the next world, next life. But he also maintains the discretion to take you back to some degree, as we saw with Poppy's father originally. Dying from drinking himself to fucking death. Runs into the tall man, who offers him, who is obviously knows Poppy's family well. We saw just enough of the figure who Poppy overheard with her grandma before she died to pretty much confirm that that was the tall man. Showing up to Poppy's grandma at her end there. thinking here. In terms of the difference between ending A and ending B. Key here. Ultimately, it feels like honestly, the way I went with my choices in my first run, it really was kind of along those lines of sort of selfless choices for Poppy, which led to her giving up on the prospect of happiness that she knew wasn't real, that she knew was a daydream of sorts. And sticking with that deadly cycle of waiting to try and sell matches to bring home money to her father. She gave up her own interests, gave up her own happiness for the people around her. Seeing off Rudy when he got adopted, telling him he didn't have to wait, offering her father the bed, assuming that no, of course, her father was asking for forgiveness from God. He mentioned it before. And of course, not even engaging with what was essentially a daydream around Christmas time, with meeting Rudy again. Giving up on any real chance for happiness, any real mood for happiness. For happiness, that's any real hope for happiness for herself. And in the end, falls asleep in the snow. No one comes for her until the tall man does. Perhaps he knew enough to know that she wanted someone to find her and to listen to her. Nothing else. To know that she had nothing left in the world, so the best thing he could do for her was give her his ear, no questions asked, and guide her on to the next world. And ultimately she expired peacefully after everything else. But when our choices are more holding out hope to some degree, that's perhaps the flame that the tall man reignited. Hope. Hope, happiness, that warmth within her that she desperately wants to keep alight. in that last memory. Knowing clearly what she wanted. At that point, he stepped in to what really felt like a memory that didn't exist. Because she never met Rudy before her grandma died. But perhaps what that memory wasn't even a time when she was at her happiest. It was a time... It wasn't even a time. It was just Poppy surrounded by the people in her life who treated her with the utmost kindness and respect, and who made her feel warm. With those memories surrounding her, he gave her a match. Lit it, told her to keep it alight. And in essence, changed her destiny somewhat. That illusory daydream with Rudy changed her fate. That illusory daydream with Rudy, that happened. It's entirely possible that really did happen. All in all. And she dismissed it because, as she said, she went into hiding with her dad. Hiding from debt collectors. And so I'm certainly she's been desperately trying to sell matches in the interim. In the weeks since then. So, all the stress of that, she could have very well forgotten that actually happened. She's been through so much hell that just that one pleasant memory was so out of place that she could readily dismiss it as fake, as a daydream, as nothing. Even if the tall man didn't directly change her history by giving her that match, stoking that fire within her once again, perhaps he did have a hand in finally bringing them together. Poppy and Rudy. Finally making her dream come true. That she didn't know she wanted until she was at her lowest point. Christmas Eve. Alone. In a snowstorm. Afraid to go home without selling any matches. Oh man, I'm glad we came back. We got Poppy the happy ending she deserves. So much. I hope you enjoyed this. I really did. This was beautiful. In every sense, this was beautiful. We'll leave off here with this warm memory. It's utterly warm scene here. And I thank you for watching. I hope you find the warmth in this frigid time of year in many senses of the word. Until next time, until then, thanks for watching.